The Nest Saga is the second arc of the King of Fighters series, and it includes the games from 1999 to 2001. And if you wonder why I ignored KOF 98, it's because it's considered non-canon, just like 2002 and 12, despite being among the best entries in the series from a pure gameplay perspective. Except 12 maybe, it wasn't that good. But anyway, the story begins exactly where the Orochi saga has ended. Kyo woke up one day inside what it looked like a laboratory surrounded by all sorts of gadgets. He had no idea how much time had passed since his last fight against Orochi. He managed to free himself from captivity and learned the name of his captors, the Nest Cartel, a powerful syndicate that rules the underworld and deals with human experimentations and biotechnology. Kyo began to investigate on his own in an attempt to discover the reason behind his kidnapping and decided to not come back home before finding some answers. Meanwhile, Benimaru received an invitation to the 99's tournament, seemingly from Kyo's biggest fan, Shingo, but in reality, it was Nest that sent the invitations to both of them and set them up to join the new hero team with a mysterious man called K- and his friend Maxima. And despite being unsettled by the circumstances, Benimaru entered the competition with hopes of finding what happened to his friend Kyo. Unlike the previous editions, this year's tournament was shrouded in mystery. The host remained unknown and the rules were different. Each team now is composed of 4 members, and while the fights are still adopting the 3 against 3 method, the 4th fighter of each team would act as a support or a striker, as the new rule called it. Hydern, the commander of the Ikari warriors, suspected that Nests may be involved with KOF and dispatched Ralph, Clark and Leona alongside a new recruit called Whip to investigate. The hero team made it to the finals and were able to meet the host of the tournament, a man known as Krizalid, who was a Nest officer and looked suspiciously like K-. K- discovered that he was a product of the Nest technology. He was infused with Kyo Kusanagi's DNA, which explains why he could create and manipulate flames at will. His memory was altered and everything related to his past was either erased or repressed. Instead, he was made to believe that he was Krizalid's clone, which is the opposite of the truth. In fact, Krizalid was made to be the ultimate Kyo clone, and K- was just a step to achieve this goal. Nest aimed for a world domination, and in order to do that, they would have to create an army of super-powered humans. That is why they kidnapped Kyo, the man who defeated Orochi, and created thousands of clones from his DNA, then released them all around the globe. Their goal behind organizing KOF 99 was to collect data from the battles and use it to activate the clones, and in the same time use their own team, the new hero team, to defeat the other fighters. After learning all this, K- decided to stand against Nest's plans and with the help of Maxima, Benimaru and Shingo challenged Krizalid. They narrowly managed to defeat him and stop his plan to activate the Kyo clones. They learned that Krizalid was just a pawn for Nests, and shortly after he was executed by his superior for failing his mission. When the base started to collapse, K- and Maxima were separated from the rest of the team. Now living as fugitives, they were hunted down by both the Ikari squad and the Nest agents. But that would not stop K- from trying to find a way to recover his lost memories. The events that happened at the end of KOF 99 made the commander of the Ikari warriors very concerned about the real objective of the Nest cartel, but he was unable to find any answer since he had no idea about the location of their headquarters. It was then when he was approached by his longtime friend Commander Ling and told that the key to know more about Nests is to find the fugitives K- and Maxima. Hyder and Link organized the KOF 2000 for the sake of luring the cartel from their hideout. At the same time, they recruited the mercenaries Vanessa and Ramon in order to find the two terrorists and convince them to enter the tournament so they can closely observe them and arrest them at the end of the competition. Link tasked a third mercenary named Seth to enter KOF in order to capture Ron, the leader of a clan of assassins, the Flying Brigands. Apparently, Ron had betrayed his clan and joined Ness for obscure reasons. Seth managed to find Lin, Ron's closest friend before his betrayal, and told him that he had more chances to find his former leader if he entered KOF. Then both men joined the competition by teaming up with Benimaru and Shingo. Meanwhile, Ness, who were still unhappy with the betrayal of K-, learned about his participation in KOF and sent the Intai-K, a weapon made specifically to exterminate him with the appearance of an innocent young girl. Her name was Kula Diamond, and to prevent any eventual betrayal from her, like what happened with K-, they assigned two of their top agents to supervise her and provide assistance if needed. At the end of the tournament, K- team were invited to a mysterious mansion where they were greeted by Commander Link. He then revealed his true identity. His real name was Zero, and he was a former agent of Nests. His objective was to destroy Nests and take over the world on his own. To do so, he impersonated the real Commander Link, who was already dead thanks to his shapeshifting ability. Then he convinced Hyder to organize KOF so that the fighter's energy could power his Zero Cannon, a space-based weapon made from Nest's technology. To demonstrate his power, Zero fired one shot with his cannon, which was enough to wipe a whole city off the map. K- and his teammates battled against Zero, ignoring the fact that their energy was powering the cannon. After their victory, the weapon was ready to launch a second shot. Thankfully, Kula and her overseers destroyed it, but not before firing one last shot on Zero himself. K- and Maxima were once again separated from the rest of the team and went exploring the destroyed city above them. Zero, who was badly injured, was found by Whip. After he revealed a crucial information to her, which is the fact that she is also a product of Ness experiments and that K- is actually her missing brother, the young woman executed him. Shortly after, she joined her younger brother for his resistance against Nests. The next year, Ness officially organized KOF 2001. Their purpose is to gather all their enemies in one place and crush them once and for all. They introduced their own team composed by their most powerful agents and led by none other than Kula. K-, Maxima and Whip, who spent the previous year looking for Ness' main base, entered the tournament as soon as they heard about it. They were joined by Lin, who tracked their movements in his personal hunt for Ron. Q joined the competition as well and teamed up with his old friends Benimaru and Diamond as well as Shingo, forming the Japan team. And finally, Seth convinced Iori to join his team composed of Vanessa and Ramon, promising him that he would have his chance to fight his eternal rival during this tournament. All the teams fought desperately to make it to the finals, but in the end, it was K-Dash's team who won this privilege. They were invited to board a blimp that turned out to be a spaceship. Inside, they met a man who is revealed to be Original Zero, and then challenged them into a fight to entertain themselves. He was joined by Lean's main target, Ron, a revived Krizalid, and his pet Black Lion.
Round one.
However, he was defeated by K-Dash and his teammates just moments before the ship arrived to the space base, and chose to stay in the exploding ship while the others ran forward. Once inside the satellite, they encountered the CEO of the Ness cartel, an old man with the same name as his organization. Ness requested from his rogue agents to return to the cartel, but before he could finish his speech, he was killed by his right-hand man and son, Igniz, claiming himself as the new CEO of Ness. Igniz revealed that all the agents like K-Dash, Kula, K49 and such were all just mere guinea pigs made for the sole purpose of his entertainment. He then claimed himself as the new god of mankind, and to test his newfound powers attacked K-Dash and his team.
Round one. Fight.
Igniz won the fight, and just when he was going to finish K-Dash, other fighters intervened. Kyo and Iori somehow managed to sneak into the ship and made it to the satellite. Kula was also with them, and after hearing the story of her creation from Igniz, decided to join them. This time, the combined might of these formidable fighters bested Igniz. However, he wasn't willing to make it easy for them either. Igniz revealed that if he cannot be a god, then he was going to be a demon, and set the satellite to crash on Earth with the intention to kill his enemies with it. Fortunately, the satellite plunged into the ocean, and the fighters inside were safe, most likely thanks to Ron. K-Dash saved Kula from drowning, and as a response, she formed an alliance with him. Both of them wanted to make up for their lost past and forge their own future. As for Kyo and Iori, after they separated from the rest of the group, they went elsewhere and engaged in a fight with an unknown outcome. And that was a brief summary of Ness Saga. Join us for the next video, where we will dive into the third chapter of KOF, the famous Tales of Ash. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and why not consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks for watching.